Developer speaks out on a PlayStation 5 technology that provides a gaming boost. Let's get into it. What is going on, guys? Dealer back again with yet another video. Thank you so much for joining me, and today we are talking about PS5. As we all know, there's a lot of mystery around the system as Sony has yet to show it in public. But it's nothing new. They kind of did this in 2013. They didn't show the PS4 until that year's E3. However, there's a lot of confusion around the system's performance compared to that of Series X, and while people like myself have a pretty good idea of what the outcome will be, there are those with their hands clasped together, hoping for the best outcome. We all are, but when it comes down to it, every little bit of performance is going to help the system. One developer does have some good information regarding the PS5's Tempest engine that will actually help boost performance for games, which is awesome. Whether you prefer Xbox or maybe you prefer PlayStation, you want the most competition possible here. So let's get into the information. PS5's Tempest engine paves way for big CPU boost. There are a ton of people that have a ton of questions about the PS5 at this point regarding its price point, its power output, its in-game performance, so much more. But the article says one thing that is not in contention is the PS5's Tempest engine. Technical director on the upcoming RPG Hellpoint has recently commented on what he has experienced firsthand with the Tempest engine of PS5. That and the engine's ability to evolve in the future. Remember, everything you see in 2020 regarding the Series X and PS5 is literally less than the first year worth of capability, meaning the hardware and software will continue to evolve as they ink out more. Games always look drastically better by the end of every generation, but that's because they get more and more out of the hardware and the associated engines. This developer says Tempest engine will boost performance of the PlayStation 5. He says though 3D audio is not a new concept, PS5 handling it on a hardware level will be easier than ever to implement, while at the same time giving the CPU a big boost for general gaming. He explains that while possible on today's consoles, if implemented it would have to run in software, meaning there is no dedicated hardware to handle these tasks. Because of this, there will not be enough CPU headroom to actually provide the game's physics, frame rates, and all the other things that it needs to do. He is essentially telling you the #1 benefit of hardware acceleration on the 3D audio level. Because there is dedicated hardware here, it frees up those Zen 2 cores to actually handle frame rate, physics, and all of the other things they are going to be tackling this upcoming generation. It's one of the many benefits that Xbox Series X and PS5 will have: additional dedicated silicon that can handle tasks like 3D audio. We know in Xbox Series X's case that there is going to be a massive performance benefit when it comes to ray tracing. They've got that dedicated hardware inside to do so. I'm very curious to see PS5's implementation in real time and see what the differences are. Now, the cool thing about these new systems, aside from just how capable they are for what should be $400 and $500, the fact that they do come with additional dedicated hardware to do things like ray traced audio and visuals does mean that developers are more likely to actually use them, for the simple fact that that additional acceleration is there. This developer states as much, saying, "But now it's hardware accelerated. It means there's no reason not to use it. For them, it means PS5 might sound better with a flip of a switch." He also has another good point, saying that even if both systems have the same exact CPU, having specific tasks being run by dedicated hardware could actually boost the CPU of one drastically over another. And I think that's a very interesting way to think about things. We had always known what the architecture of these systems would be. Here on this channel, we thought maybe the more important bits would be the custom things that separate them. Things like hardware accelerated ray tracing and the capability there you might find with each. With this example, you may see drastically better visuals on one over the other depending on what is able to be hardware accelerated, etc. And that means the one with the best hardware acceleration technology and the most compute there will have a pretty big edge. We know both Series X and PS5 can both hardware accelerate audio. We know Series X has some really capable ray tracing for a console. Now we just need Sony to show us a little bit more on the actual graphics side of ray tracing like Microsoft have. I, for one, am very curious as to which one should have the edge, though I am quite certain it will be Series X. That's just my opinion. Let me know yours down below. But in either case, hardware acceleration, they are finding ways to use this technology for both visuals, audio. You are starting to hear about how they might even be able to use it for things like physics and more. This is going to be awesome, and you can only imagine where it'll go from here. Again, 2020 is just year one of these two systems, and this is just the beginning. The evolution will continue. Developers will find ways to use it for the simple fact that it is available processing. If they don't use this extra hardware, then they are not really maxing out the system, and not every developer will use it for ray tracing or audio benefits. Others will find different ways. Let me know what you think they might use this for down below. Of course, if you liked the video, hit that like button and show a buddy or two. Let me know your opinions below. Subscribe. Check out the links for the source, Patreon, and so much more. Thanks to everybody who checked this out. You guys rock. Check out the last video, the one before that. I got a whole backlog full of information. And again, I'm Dealer. I'm out.